Guys, Kamina the coach here from the park. Again, I'm going to do my best to keep it together out here. There are a lot of people. It's the Monday after Christmas 2022. So, December the 26th. Get it together, Kamina. So, yeah, I'm Kamina the coach. This channel was originally dedicated to help people get it together to work and live abroad. March of 2020, I went back to the United States due to COVID and started working on healing early childhood trauma and adoption trauma. And so that is actually what I'm going to talk about in this video. And this video is actually dedicated to white people who have black children. So just do us a favor, first of all, and stop telling yourself that I don't see color, because that's a definite sign of privilege. And if you're privileged enough to not have to see color, at least do your kids a service and acknowledge that other people do see our color. So I listened to a podcast, one of my favorite podcasts, Where Do We Begin, with Esther Perel, because she is an amazing relationship therapist, and I am one of those people that studies relationships a lot because I want to have healthy relationships, and I think that we don't study how to have healthy relationships enough, especially if we didn't have that model for us when we were younger. We say we want it, but we don't actually study how to get and keep them. And not just romantic relationship, friendships, colleagues, and all that kind of stuff. So I spent a great deal of time studying relationships and how to keep healthy relationships. So I really love Where Do We Begin with Esther Perel. She spends about an hour talking to couples or working partners, trying to help them resolve relationship issues. And last night, I probably shouldn't have been doing it on Christmas, but I was listening to some of the podcasts that I had missed, and I heard the saddest story ever. And the focus of the story was not what I'm going to talk about, but it's what stood out to me. And it probably is a large part of why this young man has problems. And I say young man, he's probably close to my age, not many years younger than me. So there's a gentleman, and he's talking about being really confused about his background, because he is the only black person in a family of white people, and no one in his family has addressed it ever in his life. Ever. And so here's the thing, white people. If you don't tell your children that they're black, the world is going to tell them. So I'm not speaking hypothetically, I'm speaking from experience. For those of you who don't know my story, I was adopted at birth by a white family who kept my adoption from me and kept my race from me until I found out accidentally. What a horrible feeling of betrayal that was, and how horrible it is to tell people that you're white and have them tell you, no, you most definitely are not. It is a really horrible feeling. So this guy actually mimics some of the things that I said in my life. So there's a documentary done by a woman who has the same experience as this man. So I was actually told the same story that he was told at first. But then I found out that I was actually adopted. So he was told that his mother, and he didn't find out until he was 32, because his wife cheated on him. And he said to his father, how can I stay with her? And his father said, well, how do you think you got here? What a horrible way to find out. And his wife said to him, well, at least my infidelity helped you find out your story. And so he justified to himself where his color came from for years, that there was a lot of Native American blood in his family. And even once he found out, I can relate to this a lot, there was a lot of denial and like really hoping that it wasn't true. It's a horrible feeling. It's just a horrible feeling. It's a horrible shock. It was the biggest shock in my life. Aside from finding out I was adopted. Finding out I was black first, really hard. Finding out I was adopted second. Finding out my dad died before I got to meet him third. All really hard realizations. So just because we're light skinned doesn't mean we don't go through, and not all biracial people are light skinned, but we do have a certain degree of privilege, but we're still told by the world again and again and again that we're black. I had a biracial girl tell me in school, she was like, "You're definitely not white." I was like, "Well, my birth certificate says I'm white." She was like, "But I'm here to tell you, you are definitely not white." And the guy, it really broke my heart because, really brought tears to my eyes, because the guy said when he watched the movie Beauty and the Beast, he broke down crying because he felt like he was the Beast. And as Sarah asked him, she was like, "Did your family treat you any different?" He said, "No, my family didn't treat me any different." She's like, "Well, where did you get this idea of self-hate?" Well, his friends in the world told him he was not beautiful because he was trying to live inside of a white world as a white person. And we're not white. I get where you're going with this, white people. I do. Because I had the perception that I was white for a long time. I understand. I get where you're going from this. But it's not going to end up well for you or your children if you continue to keep their race from them. Instead, teach them to embrace it. Teach us to embrace our hair, our skin color. Teach us how amazing we are, how beautiful we are. Teach us about our history and where we come from. Help us find community, people that look like us, so we don't feel like aliens. He said it as well. I felt like an alien all the time. This is a really short video. I really just, yeah, and that's going to be the message to dear white people. Do not keep your children of color's identity from them. You are not serving anyone. We are only protected by privilege when we are with you. And when we're not with you, we have to face the cold, hard realizations of a racist world without your privilege umbrella. If you truly love us, the best thing you can do is tell us the truth. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Until next time, my name is Kamina the Coach, sending you love, light, peace, and joy. I'm out.